Hello everyone and welcome to a flyby for Astroneer, the newest early access space survival game everyone's been talking about. I am Kevin and I have with me my co-pilot Matthew.
Hello everybody.
So guys, just so you know, this game came out of early access December 16th. It's developed by System Era Softworks. It is a space survival game, and like any good space survival game, we're going to take an orange cosmonaut and we're going to launch him into the atmosphere.
Awesome.
So Matthew, have you heard anything about this game really?
I heard it's essentially No Man's Sky. How accurate is that?
It's people like drawing that comparison. It is a survival space exploration game. You kind of just start on this little thing and you come in on this pod. It's known as a habitat. And you pop out. It looks like we kind of got a bad draw here. Kind of a desolate wasteland. That's unfortunate.
This is all procedurally generated, or?
It is a procedurally generated world. It's actually very interesting, the generation in this game. You can actually dig all the way through to the core of this planet, and you can then come out the other side. It is actually round. You can navigate an entire planet all the way around it. You can even go through it.
Have you done that? Have you actually dug through a planet?
I haven't. It seems like a real endeavor. People online have. I've seen videos of it. It's really interesting. The gravity actually gets lower when you're at the core. There's basically no gravity. It's actually really cool and pretty well thought out. Though, like any game that has kind of this much to do, or this much kind of terrain destruction, it can suffer from some pretty big performance issues, and glitches abound. It is early access. So I'm going to go ahead and pop out this terrain tool that you get. It lets you shape terrain, and so you can kind of dig into the terrain like this. Okay. Or if I so choose to, I can also build it out. So I kind of have an endless supply of things to build and excavate with. There's really no limit other than on my back you can see there's a little battery pack. And so as I use it, it loses its charge, and that'll charge faster, and there's various tools I can get to make that charge quicker or to have more total charge. The idea is basically real simple. I need to build a base and build tools. So I can build this base. All habitats have these little expansion nodules. This little guy who's following me, if I click it, it'll expand out and say, hey, I need some resin. Again, this game has no tutorial right now. It's very early access. You kind of just figure out what you need to figure out by just kind of saying like, oh, okay, I guess I need resin, or going online, because some of it's a little kind of wiki reliant in a sense. So I'm going to go out and find resin. I have a tether that just broke that was attached to the habitat. You can see on my back I have a little blue bar on my pack. That's my oxygen. And this game does not.
Is that a lighthouse? What is that in the distance
that is
there?
So this is, the game is procedurally generated, and things are relatively some of the resources, like I'm collecting a resource called compound right now, and that resource is finite in that deposit, but this is kind of an infinite node. It's kind of this very dev type arrow, obviously placeholder. Yeah. Okay, so my oxygen is 50%, so I'm going to start heading back, but I can basically suck power from that rock, and power is kind of this raw resource. I don't think you can really craft anything with it, but it will supplement your battery if you run out. So like right now, because I have, and I'm going to go ahead and not suffocate to death and get more oxygen back at my habitat.
Oh, where's the fun in that?
Oh, believe me, there's a lot of fun to be had with suffocating in this game. It is basically this game's #1 trait.
I gotta know, can people hear you scream?
In space, you cannot, but here you can, because we're in an atmosphere, so we're good.
Oh, okay.
Or at least I assume this planet has an atmosphere. Well, it's got clouds, so.
Take your helmet off. Let's find out.
So the only kind of interaction you can do, unfortunately, there is no button to take helmet off of. Though I wish you can cheer. You can wave. You can slightly smaller wave.
You're riding your tool there.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Woo. And you can scratch your head in confusion. So with this power in my backpack, right, and I have my backpack here, I can kind of open it. Cool. It's actually a really cool inventory because it's really just the backpack model blown up. So it's pretty nice. But so since I have power in here, if I use my tool, you'll notice that the power on my back isn't actually going down because it's actually consuming that resource. So it's sort of like a makeshift battery, but it's one-time use. Once that's gone, it's gone. You can build batteries though that you can recharge. So I see something over there in the distance. So I'm gonna go. So what I'm gonna do is I found this compound here, right? So I'm going to make these things called tethers. And again, like any good survival game, I'm kind of throwing a ton of things at you at once. But so these tethers I can place, and look at that. I can now go further and get oxygen. You really are bound by oxygen in this game. I almost want to say kind of to a too much of an extent, because it really limits how far you can go and how much you can do. But you can build like oxygen tanks and stuff and kind of manage to get yourself out further. You can see a little bit of the pop in with the loading of the land there.
Yeah.
They do kind of like chunk-based loading, kind of like Minecraft, I'm guessing, with how it sort of pops in like that. And it actually makes the draw distance relatively small. And this game is out for the PC. It's also out on the Xbox, so I imagine we're kind of seeing some of the limitations of the Xbox being carried over to the PC. So this is...
That I thought that was a end of a rocket sticking out of the ground before you got up on it.
Yeah, it looks like a solar panel from some kind of... And there's something over there, too. Looks like yeah. Yeah. Totally. I'm gonna make a run for this thing first. See how far I can get. Oh, but actually we're in luck. Actually, I'll just go straight for the other thing, because this is a node for oxygen. Oxygen is also a collectible resource in this game, so I can just suck this up here.
So what happens to you had energy? What happened to that? It just goes in the backpack?
So until you have enough on your little tool here to fill a spot in your pack, it just rests in your gun, and you can't actually access it.
So you lost that energy then?
I didn't lose it. It's actually still there. It's hidden. But like if I start collecting energy again, I'll start right off from where I was, which is actually pretty nice. So this looks like some kind of giant solar panel. I think actually there's like a conduit here, and like I can plug something in here for power, so I can probably make use of the solar panel. But I don't really have the means to do that right now. And there's also this thing here, which is a unknown research node, and kind of, I don't know if we'll get there in this flyby, but I can build my base, and I'll grab some of this resin while I'm here. Oh, that's not resin, that's hydrazine used for whoa!
Whoa, what the hell?
Whoa! Okay, I've never seen that before. I don't really know what just happened, but cool. We found some organics and some aluminum. So I'll go ahead and take
okay.
that.
So that's a landing pod, right? Like those balloons.
Yeah, it looks like like one of the landers that like the Mars rover would come in on or something. So yeah, there's like little things like that. So clearly there are people, this is not completely desolate. There were some sort of people here at some point, or something in orbit at least. But
this plane has colors too. The colors, is that also? Oh, you're sliding. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
What's going on there?
So I think this is a glitch. Okay, so it stopped.
Not a bad glitch.
you can slide down hills. It seems kind of like random, where sometimes it'll decide to kind of slide you.
Oh, okay, that's what was happening, dude. You just had some momentum.
But it's still, like,
it's called momentum. Maybe you've heard of it.
Okay, I guess I'm still sliding. I'm sliding just infinitely down uphill. But yeah,
there's a lot of momentum on this planet.
Yeah, it's a very frictionless planet. They set the server vars down. So did I get resin? No, I didn't. So I can't build this out yet. I need to find resin. Oh, look, another one of these things. Let's go have it.
What?
Explode.
Was that there before? Did it show
maybe. Up? I did not see it.
Is it gonna pop off again? Like, yep.
Yep.
So you have not seen those before? Is this something they might have added since it's early access?
It's possible. Yeah, I haven't played the game in a day or two. I played a ton of it when it first came out. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to go ahead and grab some of this. This is the resource we actually need to build a base. It's possible they're adding things. I think right now the devs are mostly focused on... Oh, look, all those things just kind of came into existence in front of me. It's possible they're adding things. I think they're mostly focusing on optimization and bug fixes right now.
Is it easy to get lost?
Did I what?
Is it easy to get lost? Maybe not with the tethers.
It can be. If you actually hover over your guy, you can have a little compass appear at your feet, which I actually think is a really great quality of life addition that I wouldn't have expected the game to already have. But it is pretty nice. There are some FPS issues I noticed. The game, it has a weird motion blur too that I can't quite put my finger on. So I need a bit more resin here to expand this a little bit further. Let's go back. It's going to be night soon here in a bit. I will say the game looks surprisingly great. Like, for as early as it is in access, that the color scheme, the kind of styling of everything is really beautiful. And I actually find myself just oftentimes staring at different landscapes. We ended up on a little bit of a desolate wasteland. You can see off over there. There's some mountains.
Yeah.
But it can be really pretty. There's like furry kind of plants in some places, and it all looks very alien, but very beautiful. And they definitely didn't shy away from giving it a really rich color scheme, and it really pays off.
Are there like maybe not monsters, but are like wildlife and stuff, or is it all?
Not currently, not really, and it's kind of unfortunate too. I would have really liked to see some really kind of creative creatures or something like that. Not to get into No Man's Sky territory, but that was the one thing people I think did enjoy a lot about that game is exploring and finding various things. There are a few kind of handcrafted plants underground, some that even emit a toxic poison. If we can find a cave, hopefully I can show you that.
But wait, but you're not breathing the atmosphere. Why would that fucking matter?
I don't understand at all. Okay. Maybe it eats through my suit. I don't.
Okay. I guess I could.
Really know.
I could buy that. I guess.
Yeah, there's no real. But the thing that's weird is I believe there's a thing you can research called filters. And they, I believe, protect you from the toxin. So that seems to imply that you are somehow breathing it. I don't know.
Maybe you're using part of the atmosphere and mixing with the oxygen, I guess.
This game is so early.
That was a huge drop. Was that just me, or was there a huge stutter?
I do get performance spikes every now and then, so that is probably what you were seeing. It is pretty okay. Once you start building and going crazy, and especially if you do co-op stuff, because this game does support 4-player co-op.
Oh, okay.
The host typically experiences some pretty drastic performance problems.
Okay.
So we got some interesting things.
Some more dev arrows. Go harvest those dev arrows.
I'm gonna go harvest these dev arrows. Yeah, this game is super early access. It's all over. It's very buggy, but I will say, in terms of what they came out the gate with, as far as early access goes, it's not too terrible. So let's dig this plant out.
Shows a lot of promise from what I can see.
Oh, absolutely. And so this little plant had like a research node as its root, so I can go back and take this back. Oh, here's some oxygen. This is perfect. Let's take some of this oxygen.
But those are crystals. How's that oxygen? I don't understand.
I don't know. I don't know, and I don't think I'll ever understand it. There's some things in this game that are somewhat perplexing. But it is kind of cool. Though I don't completely understand it, I fell in a hole.
You just goofed.
I just goofed. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to, I guess, tunnel myself out.
Oh, what?
There you go. Sure. I was kind of worried. Sometimes when you do that, you can end up falling through the world endlessly and dying.
Oh, wow.
So it was a little bit of a risk, but so far it's so good. I don't know if they've pushed any changes, so maybe they've addressed some of those problems.
Mm-hmm.
So this little root thing I can use to research more stuff, more tools I can craft on my backpack, more tools, more bases, more modules I can build out my base, basically.
Is there any kind of end game here? Like, what are you doing exactly, or is it just?
So there isn't really an end game. So like you can build things to kind of make yourself better, but better in terms of what, I'm not really sure. Building vehicles is really fun. And I kind of want to do that. I want to see if maybe I can get to that point. I don't think I can here because, again, this is a survival game. It takes quite a while.
Well, do you have other saves we can go into?
I do actually. Let's go ahead and do that because the early game is a little plotting. So let's go ahead and let's go out to the main menu here.
Okay. So I heard you guys talking a bit about this game, and so far as this dev seemed like responsive, because I always think back to DayZ, and that was like the nightmare scenario for early access games where it's just broken, never gets fixed, and they don't seem to really care. Do you have any inkling on this one?
Yeah, so we run into a lot of these early access titles that do just kind of seem like cash grabs. They have a cool concept, everyone latches on that concept, they buy it, the devs get their money, and they abandon it. It's kind of too early to really say if that's going to be the case here. The devs have seemed very responsive. They released a blog post within the first 24 hours of this releasing, basically saying, wow, thank you so much for the reception. We're working endlessly to fix these issues. We already have pushed out a patch that fixes some of the more severe crashes that were happening right on day one. So they definitely do seem responsive right now. I think a big thing that's going to really matter isn't necessarily just addressing the bugs. So that absolutely needs to happen is they need to add content, right? The game is mindless right now. It is really compelling, so I started somewhere way down here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm one
your
of these
astronaut
caves.
is completely different. Is that random as well, or did you get to choose how you look?
No, it's not random. At the very beginning, when you choose your shuttlecraft, though you can choose saves from that menu, you can also start a new world, and you can choose what astronaut you want. I chose the orange cosmonaut on the last one we played.
Oh, okay.
So things are falling from the sky randomly. I'm not sure why. But you have these plants. I'm not sure if these guys are toxic or not.
They're moving around.
Yeah, they're alive, toxic. I guess. I can uproot them, but they still move around. They're still alive. Oh, okay, so that thing shoots spikes out.
Oh, hey, well, there's...
Apparently.
I wonder if
okay, so that's not good.
There's a skeleton here? Okay.
There's a big skeleton. So I think one of the problems that this game might suffer from, there's an even bigger skeleton, or part of the same skeleton maybe right there. But a few of the things that the game does suffer from is that they're really... the random generation that occurs on the terrain level is really impressive, but everything else is definitely just a handful of resources. So unless they kind of address that, ultimately you're going to see the same bones, you're going to see the same spike plants. There's only so many of them, and I've already seen similar things a lot. You know, with enough variation, you can kind of flesh that out. And, you know, sometimes the opposite isn't always the best either. You know, procedurally generating everything can sometimes just be like, oh, look, it's a rat with template head number 2. Yeah. So, the procedural generation is definitely, for the landscapes, is amazing. But it kind of at the same time feels a little pointless, to be honest, because there's no real base building in this game, because I can... like expand my base here and build more things, right? And I've done that here. I have a smelter. I have I haven't built this yet, I guess, but I have a 3D printer. I've got a research table here if I want to research more things. And it looks like I'm working towards more expansions. But unfortunately, do I have enough to build a... Don't. That's a bummer.
Do you 3D print your vehicles, or is there a different module for that?
So you 3D print your vehicles at a vehicle bay. Okay. Which I can't build yet because I don't have the aluminum, unfortunately. This save I wasn't able to get a lot of aluminum. I played a lot of this game on co-op, but unfortunately co-op stuff does not save locally. I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense, right? The host gets the file and you don't.
Oh, okay.
So those are lost to me, unfortunately.
Bummer.
To be honest, the shuttle driving is fun, and you go fast and you can go really far, and also the shuttle acts kind of as a habitat. It gives you unlimited oxygen when you're near it, so that's kind of nice. It really enables you to explore a lot, but unfortunately, it really doesn't... it flips on a dime, and it bugs out, and it goes all over the place. I wish I could show you flying to another world, and I probably really should have built myself up to that point. But also that can be a little bit of a hassle too.
So can you climb this mountain here to the right?
Yes, I can. So I'm gonna go ahead and summit this. I was running a co-op world with some friends, and one of our friends, the Swede that we know, decided to build this mountain, and really kind of discover it. And I think he might have even built a path up here somewhere.
Oh, so this was co-op for him. He was in this world for you. Oh,
yeah, he was in this world.
That slide dimension is even better. Holy shit! Do you have a Helion? What's going on there?
Yeah. So my astronaut is equipped with Heelys. It was a pre-purchase a bonus. No, it's not true. None of that is true. So yeah, there's somebody came up here and built tethers, and it is cool. Like I said, the game has really cool vistas and all that. I'm just gonna go up here and die. Just kind of run for as long as I can until I suffocate.
Do you lose resources and stuff when you die, or what's the penalty for that?
You lose what is on your back, but like if you'll notice, oh look, more tethers. If you'll notice, I have a solar panel on my backpack right there in the top left.
Okay.
And that lets my battery recharge faster during the daytime. It's actually quite useful. So yeah, he built all this up here. He built this whole trail up here. So I guess I won't suffocate and die because there's tethers. But I won't lose my solar panel, but I will lose everything else. So everything in my backpack main slots I will lose. I can just run to my body though and just find it and live, and it's really not a big deal. But yeah, I mean it is a really pretty game. Like honestly, I absolutely love the visuals in this game. They nailed it. I believe it's running Unreal. I'm not sure if that's true. I think I heard somebody saying that. double check that if you're listening to this. Don't necessarily take my word for it, but I remember someone telling me that I was running on an engine that I wouldn't have expected for this type of sandbox environment. But it does it pretty well.
I can see Unreal or really, one of those probably.
Yeah, co-op really illustrates the bugs a lot more. We haven't really hit any right now, so I just died.
Well, your body will be found pretty easily since the base of the mountain.
So I spawned sliding, so that's great.
Nice.
But you know, there's a lot of refinement that needs to go into it, but it is pretty cool. You can let's see if I can see it. See that moon right there?
Yeah.
I can fly to. If I build a shuttle, I can fly to that moon.
Oh, cool.
And even more to the point, that
one out
planet.
There too?
Yeah, that one out there too. So
what about the sun? Cool. Can you fly to the sun?
That's a good question that I don't know the answer to. I'm gonna guess no, because I don't think it's actually a rendered thing. I think it's like right there. Yeah, it's like I can barely see it. I don't think it's an actual thing. I think it's just in the skybox, but I could be wrong about that. But I haven't tried. I should try crisping myself though.
So this seems pretty neat. I tend to have problems with games that are this open-ended though. Like I get really bored in Minecraft, so. I don't know. If they add something like an end game or some kind of goal, I might be more interested. But I can see how they appeal.
Yeah. So like I can build a car or a vehicle like a rover or a truck is another one to go get more resources to come back and build more trucks, or I could build a shuttle to go to other planets that maybe are a little bit more hostile for some reason that I can't quite discern yet, but otherwise are exactly the same. Maybe it's possible I'm missing something. I've put about 7-8 hours into this game, not that much necessarily, but there really isn't a goal, and I agree with you. It kind of kills it for me. There's no co-op again because it's so temporal. If you join somebody else's, if there are dedicated servers, I might be more interested in sort of maintaining my empire. I'm just gonna dig down and see how long I can dig for.
So Kevin, as it is right now, do you think it's worth it, or would you think people should wait? And how much is this game, by the way?
So this game is $19.99. It's actually, I think that is a relatively fair asking price. I still wouldn't say pick it up right now. Keep an eye on it. It has a lot of promise. If you think to yourself, man, I just for whatever reason like space exploration kind of sandboxy games are like my jam, like that is what I love and that's what I want, then maybe this is the game for you. And honestly, maybe you can look past all the problems and you can still have a really fun time. I definitely had a lot of fun with my first few hours with this, especially messing around with friends. Co-op experiences really can make a game go from not so, oh look, I found a cave. Cool. Can go from not so great to what's that?
Yeah.
Living gross thing.
Maybe you can find some oxygen. Look for some oxygen. Oh, there's some.
Found some. Oh, cool. Malachite. This is a copper ore. So I can smelt this. Still need aluminum, though. But, it's definitely really cool. I would keep an eye on it. I really honestly think it has a huge potential. Like Minecraft levels of potential, just because it's so expansive and so well done. But, there's so many aspects that just don't really have a point. Like, I don't know what to do with building. Like, I can build, like you saw, I can kind of terraform the earth in kind of a almost SimCity-esque way, but why? I can only expand my base out from the little nodules that it provides. So what am I gonna do? Just build a dome around it? I mean, I guess I could. We didn't see it, but there's sandstorms that can kill you, but that's really the only environmental dangers. As far as I'm aware, there might be some others, but they're pretty minor. Again, the survival aspect's really limited, and it's mostly just a thing about dying from oxygen.
How does the sandstorm kill you? Does it push you away from tethers, or how does it actually? You just
there's these rocks, these cubes. Actually, I really wish we could have run into one because it's actually kind of funny. There's just these rock cubes that just are being thrown around, and if one hits you, it just insta kills you.
Wow,
it's pretty funny.
Completely random, then, huh?
It is completely random. The kind of cool thing, and I died. The kind of cool thing. I'm gonna jump right back into that hole though. The kind of cool thing is you can actually see these sandstorms. They're world events. They're not like, it's not like how in Minecraft when it's raining for everyone. You can actually see them rolling by you, so you can be just barely skirted by one. It's actually really cool. I really like that. And if they expand that kind of system into other things, it could be really awesome. So I went pretty far, but still probably nowhere near the core. But you can look that all up online. But anyway, so Astroneer, it's $19.99, it's $19.99. You can get it on Xbox. They are pushing patches out for that, though. They're patching it less than Steam, which does have a beta branch you can be on to kind of get the latest and greatest cutting edge. So that's kind of nice.
Beta of an early access game.
Beta, I think they're calling it the development branch, I should say. But yeah, of course, it's.
Oh well, actually, if it is on Xbox, it makes more sense as a way to not cheese them off too much.
Yeah, exactly. And they can, because of the certification process, they can only push so many updates out, I'm sure. But it is a really cute game, and it has a lot of charm and a lot of promise, and it looks great, and the exploring aspect is pretty fun. There just, isn't really any kind of goals. There isn't really that much to do other than what you make of yourself. I mean, kind of in the classic sandbox sense. But it is out now for early access. You can pick it up. It's developed by System Era Softworks. Matthew, thank you for joining me.
Great. Thanks for having me.
And thanks you guys for watching.